Om Jitarashi Yatrajiva Ratna Swaha. Okay, so Jitarashi, word for word, means conquer the zodiac. Yatra is which will deliver, unlock, result in, lead to, depending on the context. Jivaratna is one expression. It's written in 2 lines here just for the sake of the size of the pen and the board. But Jivaratna is one expression, one component. It's composed words, but it's one expression. In this case, it means life treasures. Okay, Jiva is life treasures, Ratna. Okay, so the most beautiful things in life is resulting from conquering personality traits. Jitarashi, vanquishing the zodiac. What is a zodiac? It's projected in stars and calculations, therefore structures, on which you build identities, personality traits, components of the ego. Okay? So in our tradition, we have 21 masks of the ego and arrogance as a core component of the ego. In the zodiac, they split it in 12 or 13, depending on the tradition. In this case, the Hindu tradition is 13. It's 12? Okay, which one is 13? The shamanic? Or it's 12 and then they have an extra one?
Yes.
Yes, it's shamanic. Huh? Okay, thank you. Atirashi is in the back. He's the supreme unbound Rashi. That's why he's sociopathic. His soul is built on the idea of do not adapt to an identity, so he has trouble communicating with others sometimes. He's pretty funky, but he acts weird. Everyone loves him, but no one can tolerate him too much. Yeah, even the people at work, they found him awesome when he was, let's say, was singing at one point at work, and people liked it, and he crossed the line into becoming arrogant about it, and then they annoyed and throw him off. You know, it's life, because his challenge is to accept having an identity to deal with, adapt to society. This is how you're supposed to behave with people. And he doesn't want to because he's made from the opposite. He's made from, that does not exist, you know. He's kind of born with the vanquishing of the ego, if you want, but actually it's a denial of its possibilities. It's like he's trying to understand that. And he's done good progress over time. That's why he has trouble, like, why should I behave that way? There's no reason why to behave that way. Of course you don't want to behave that way, but this is what people want, or else they won't talk to you. You know, so accept the behaviors of life and you're less lonely afterwards. That's how it is, okay? That's what we all did. But you understand, Cesar, those of you know him, when he comes to seminar, we're just so happy to see him because it's going to be fun. Yeah, it's going to be an entertaining seminar. Yeah, of course. And you learn. When Cesar's there, you learn that you don't control anyone. Oh my God. That was the big thing with Ola. Cesar, we need someone else. You're strong, come. We need someone to take the dirt. And he brings the big bucket to carry dirt, and he says, and he goes like this, I'm not helping you guys. I'm just here to have fun. I'm not helping you guys. And just put it there, and he walks away. He says, we need your help, come on. No, I'm not here to help. I'm here to enjoy myself. And he was so mad. Like, how dare do you do this to me, you know? And I was watching the scene. I said, Ola, do you know that I do agree what you just did? He's there to remind you that you don't control anyone. And you just said, okay, that was the teaching this morning. Oh my God, all right. Some of the dude passed by, he asked, he said yes, no, he just moved on, you know, but he went overboard in the reaction because he cannot be controlled. Yeah, well, because he doesn't even control himself, he's having trouble in society, okay? But still, you know, he's getting better at it, it's pretty cool. Control is not evil, control is useful. So when you see a sociopathic person, you're disturbed, you feel annoyed because they don't behave in the standards of how someone should behave. You understand that? Sociopathic people. I'm completely at peace with that because I never believed those patterns myself. but I know that we must have these patterns to behave in society.
He must be doing a lot of good progress. He's been getting up early to go work out with me in the mornings.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Because he never do that. He never does that.
No, he's done a lot of things he's never done before. He definitely has signs of maturity that I've never seen him before. Like, I consider he could actually become an adult. Yeah, he could be an adult soon, you know, that in my books, this is an adult, this is a teenager that revolts, you know. And he's been doing pretty good. We've been working hard, eh? He's doing all the work. I'm just there to gaze and, you know, give influence and inspiration. He's doing all the work. That's why he's successful. Good. That was the entertainment for today. Okay. 2 figures inside, the 2 small ones outside. We are recording, right?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. The formless, the unidentified, the undefined. Om Jitarashi Yatra Shiva Ratna Swaha. 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 Now you go into the contemplation of it, to your own rhythm, and I will talk once in a while to guide you. Om Jitarashi Yatra Shiva Ratna Swaha. Take all the time you need to learn the mantras, those who don't know it. Repeat it over and over. If you feel like drinking, you can take a sip of drink, let go of the mudra. You're not letting go of the practice. That's what matters. Om Jitarashi Yatra Shiva Ratna Swaha. Unidentified, undefined formlessness of self-embracing, manifested reality, unbounded by it. A free roaming self, formless, in the world of form, unhindered by form, playful with form. The joys of creation without the limits of the causality. The joy of creation without enslavement to definitions. Unidentified, formless. Om Jitarashi Yatra Shiva Ratna Swaha. 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 Deep breath. It has not been 10 minutes yet, but I want to show it. Now we're going to do the pull, but it's going to be a paradoxal pull, okay? because we do put some kind of effort a bit in the muscles, not too much, because we want to pull the formless, not now but when we do it, we want to put the formless, unidentified, undefined, and exist in this world, and we're bringing it up to here, okay? We want to bring it in this world and still be the formless in the world of form, and deal with the apparent paradox or contradiction. Be at peace with that. And then you drop it. You just let it go super soft. When you get here, just let it go super soft. As this whiff of unmanifested cloud of consciousness rests in the form of His creation, not defined by it. Alright? Om Shitara Shiyatra Shivaratna Swaha. Soft but firm. Om Shitara Shiyatra Shivaratna Swaha. 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 Bring it down, bring it down. Om Shitara Shiyatra Shivaratna Swaha. And you rest it gently. Observe the effect of that summon. You're now relaxed and contemplative. Om Shitara Shiyatra Shivaratna Swaha. We continue like this for the remaining of this period of 50 minutes. We are going to do one last pole. Take a deep breath and relax. Your hand goes up over 6 to 7 or 9. Pull 9 mantras. You pull down. Om Shitara Shiyatra Shivaratna Swaha. The soul enters the body. Om Shitara Shiyatra Shivaratna Swaha. And the soul is greater than the body. Om Shitara Shiyatra Shivaratna Swaha. 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 The soul, remaining formless and undefined, embraces the form of the body, knowing even the body is undefined, although it looks like it is. All of this is perception, opinions. They have no credibility for the soul. You are absolutely formless as a soul. You can share the experience to the body, to your life force, to your hearts, your feelings, your mind. Om Jitara Shiyatra Shivaratna Swaha. The fire that it sets on your definitions, and the energy that flows in the flesh and the mind, and the mild discomforts that some of you experience is the result of practicing for 15 minutes. There's only a few minutes remaining. Rest in it now. Just contemplate, very relaxed. Keep the mudra form, but loosen it. Don't put any tension in it. Rest it between your legs, relax. Very relaxed. Contemplative, even transcending meditation. Om Jitara Shiyatara Jivaratna Swaha. Deep breath, everyone. Stay in the contemplation of the formless, but release the mudra and slowly open your eyes, but stay in that state of being. And at your rhythm, you open your eyes, but you certainly do. Like in the next 30 seconds, not in the next 4 hours, okay? You're still contemplative, but your eyes are open. Look at the people around you. Look at formless beings. And stay in that contemplation. Keep that feeling live. Because that feeling of formlessness and undefined and unidentified, not the identity, that will go from your consciousness quite efficiently when you start a conversation with someone in a few minutes. Okay? And the practice of the formlessness and also the practice of the vanquishing of personality traits of Shitarashi is that. Of opinions you have about yourself, of how you have conceived your social structures, the vanquishing of that, okay? So in the practice of TOH like this, you will get to a point where you are still this undefined formless being while seriously implicated in social interactions and not lose the sense of self while being precise in your Cartesian structures and how you communicate to people, referring to your name with complete enjoyment of it because it's an efficient tool to use, using your identity for what it was meant to use, but not ruled by it. Okay? But that is as you practice. Right now it is absolutely normal, and you should give yourself the graceful permission to enjoy society, and you will re-identify yourself to your definitions, and it's okay. It is only with lots of practice that you can remain conscious as a soul while engaged in normal human activities. However, the priority when you are at work is to concentrate on your work and do it with diligence and efficiently. If it doesn't come to you naturally to feel the undefined boundless soul while working with your computer or with your machinery or with your equipment, that's normal and it is acceptable. So don't force it. Force yourself to be unbounded, formless soul while driving is a dangerous practice. You should focus on the road and make sure that you're really defined on that street, okay? And when you have practiced so much, the undefined self doing things that doesn't matter, things that there are no consequence, like go watch your favorite movie that you already know because you've watched it twice or more. Go watch that one and practice staying the formless, unbounded self while watching it. Because you've already seen the movie, your mind will not get caught up that much, and you'll practice doing something mundane while in a state of soul. Then you walk, hopefully not crossing the street, but you walk in a safe environment for 5 minutes or 5 hours, but just a little walk in the park, in the woods, contemplating the formlessness of the self, using a formed manifested body, and still not ruled by it, using it instead. Good relationship with the created world. So that you practice being like that until it becomes a state of being almost permanent. Quite enjoyable while playing Battlefield on an Xbox One. They call this cheating when they can't do it. I call it just being efficient with the tools I have. Yeah. Well, you know where the target is behind a wall. You just know. Yeah, even in virtual world. If the person is angry and very implicated in the game, emotionally, he delivers his consciousness through the realm of the virtual world. And he's just having fun. it's unlawful, you know. Can't use that against them. But, you know, you can call it cheating. I don't mind. I like my scores. It's a game. You know, I always say something very mild and apparently insignificant just to allow us to come back. Well, that wasn't. That was me gaming. Imagine that. Once your body starts to grasp that it is not meant to be absolutely limited by every rule of this natural world, and then you learn Shunpo, the fast stepping. And you start to walk gently 60 miles an hour. For 1 second, but you know, it got you there. That's Shunpo. That's the ninja art of just going there. I've done it twice. There's no point unless you're really going to have to face combat situation in your career. The years it takes to practice is a waste of time. That's why I don't do it. I don't teach it. We don't do it. There's no point in doing it. It's not a task. I know people who do it because they did practice. I don't care. Not useful. I remind you that the amount of supernatural abilities you have does not testify of your level of evolution. It is not true that you are necessarily enlightened when you have supernatural abilities, because anyone with lots of determination and practice can build them. And even once enlightened, every ability you did not seriously practice with diligence and determination, you won't develop. Because it's just a skill, it's just a program. It just doesn't really respect the laws of nature that much. Otherwise, you are a natural being, physically incarnate, and you have to, you have to eat until you grow the power of not eating. You have to sleep until you grow the power of not sleeping. Okay, you have to, or else there's health consequences. Okay, and this is when we say we're just humans. I guess we could say we are humans amongst other things. Yeah. Cool enough? Was it fun? Was it nice practice? It's soothing, yeah, at one point. There is the contractions that the ego has and that the body has from being reminded of its freedom. The difficulties of living this world that we try to deny, they fight, because as we incarnate, we realize that there are laws of nature that we are bound by, or greatly influenced to the point that we believe that we're enslaved to it. There's bills to pay, there's falling in love and heartbreaks, there's desires and wanting to eat popcorn even though you're not really hungry. I mean, you got tons of stuff, yearnings of various types. And then we try to deny it with spirituality. I try to do practices that does not embrace that these are things that humans do. Okay, wanting stuff. It's okay to want stuff, and if it hurts you, well, you work on it to resolve it. And if it hurts others that you want stuff, you really need to work on it and respect the laws, please. So, we're good? Happy? Woohoo! Another nice 50 minutes of practice. And what I was going to teach this afternoon, I will change my plan, because your mind, soul, body, well, actually the body mostly, but also the mind, needs a rest, needs a night's sleep, so to digest that wisdom and process it. So there's a concept where your soul is not a human, it's not a biped, it's not. What you have to find is fullness. But in a way we say it can take the taint of a personality if you want it when your soul is displayed to the world. By itself it remains fullness. We call it the Atmashram. Okay, so the soul as a temple. Your soul is not a person, it's a an area of existence in Brahma. And the Atmashram, or the soul realm, or the soul temple, is not really a structured wall thing. So don't think ashram as a temple you go through. But in the same way, like I say, I densify the temple and I bring my world here, which is not physically manifested because it would hurt. But you can feel the energy, you can feel when you walk in, you can feel when I invoke it, and when I let it go. There's a definite change. What I do is I just bring my soul. And it doesn't have walls or pillars or anything like a temple the way you've seen it. It just brings the essence of the area where I dwell. So I dwell in my temple, but you know, it's got the entire hurricane, the dragon there, the diamonds, the lightning, and everything. Okay? Show off! Yeah, well, build your own. Okay? And it is not something that you can do like you define your mystic form. Because the soul temple, or the soul world, what you are as a being, which is a pocket universe, a reality, is something you don't want to define. So the methods we use to make the mystic form is not the methods we use for the soul, or else you're just doing a lower mental, emotional construction of what you believe your soul is, which is not it. It remains formless. But it gains a flavor, states of being, experiences that once revealed to human minds, the minds see it in a certain way. Like an angel doesn't have wings, it's a consciousness. But once revealed to a human, we see wings, because it's that thing that flies. Because it's not grounded on the earth. So it has wings, it has no feet. If it has no emotion, it's just a head with a little, you know? We call them cherubims, little baby faces with wings. Yeah, well, yes. Because it's just pure thought. And if it experiences and feels stuff, then you have the entire body, but no feet. It's not incarnate, okay? So this is how the majority of humans have seen angels in a similar form. That's why we drive that way. That's why we think it's really their form. Actually, it's how a human can comprehend what they are, what they mean, okay? But there's no point for an angel to have an actual human shape when they're not even human. They're conceptual consciousness of Dharma, you know, free roaming in the universe. We're cool? Good? Read. But I want an intense afternoon, so I'm going to find something intense that will not disturb the digestion of the atmashram, what we've just done, of the contemplation of the free being. Okay. You can say that the atmashram is the equivalent of the swaloka for the human. But the moment your human starts to think the word ashram, that's why I never said it. I don't like the word atmashram because you put walls and pillars. You just start to build stuff and structures. So stop that. It's just your being as a, you know, space. Good? All right, thank you.